guys, happy half day. This is my second take of this video, so we're going to give it a better shot this time. Alright, so we're going to start with our date at the top of the page. It's the 22nd, all day, till tomorrow. We're comparing decimals. Don't write any of this down now, but what I do want you to write down is what I have up here in orange. Tenths, hundredths, and thousandths. What this is going to help us to remember is that as we go along and through our decimal points, as our decimal place gets larger, our fraction, or decimal fraction, gets smaller. So just as we did with our fractions, as we made more pieces, our pieces got smaller and smaller. So this reminds me that tenths are bigger than hundredths, and hundredths, fix this, are bigger than thousandths. So this is going to be helpful when we're comparing some of our numbers, especially if they look like this. All the same two digits spread out. This kind of thing will help us to remember. So write this down on the side. It's going to just be a resource for you to look at. So we're going to start over here. We're comparing horizontally. These are not all connected together. So we're going to start here with this top one, 0.006, or 6 is in the thousandths place, so we would say this 6 thousandths, and this is 6 tenths. So although we have 6 in both numbers, this is 6 thousandths, because this is holding the place of the tenths, this is holding the place of the hundredths, and here's my 6, and 6 tenths. So when I look over here, I remember that tenths is at the top because it's the biggest. So 6 tenths is going to be bigger than 6 thousandths, so I'm going to compare with this way. 6 thousandths is less than 6 tenths. Let's look at the next one. Here again, we have 6 tenths, but this 6 tenths looks different than this 6 tenths. This 0, because it comes at the end, is not holding a place of anything, so technically we don't need it, but we're going to keep it because we might see other problems with that. Here we have 0.06. This 0 is holding the place of the tenths. So our 6 is 0.06 is 6 hundredths. All right, so when I look over here, my tenths are bigger than hundredths. So again, I'm going to compare this way. 6 tenths is greater than 6 hundredths. Let's look at our next one. Again, if my zeros come at the end, they don't hold value. They're not holding a place, but I'm going to keep them. This is 6 tenths. Here my 6 is in the hundredths place. This is 6 hundredths. Looking back at my list, tenths are greater than hundredths. So I'm going to compare this way. 6 tenths is greater than 6 hundredths. Look at this one. We have 3 digits, but watch what happens when I get rid of my zeros. Getting rid of those zeros, getting rid of these zeros. All 3 of those look exactly the same. But again, we're going to keep these zeros because we might see them like that. Okay? But all 3 of these are 6 tenths, which means that all 3 of these, even though they're written and represented a little bit differently, they're all equal. They're equivalent. All right, last one. We have 0.6, 6 hundredths. Here we have 0.6. This 0 does not hold value. It's not holding a place. This is holding the place of the tenths. This is holding the place of the tenths. So when I look at these, again, they're equal. They both equal 6 hundredths. I'm going to keep this 0 here because, again, we might see it like that again. So again, we're going to look at this to kind of remind us and help us, especially when our numbers are the same. When our numbers get a little different, this might not be as helpful, but for now, this is helpful for us. So I'm going to keep this up just in case we need it. I'm going to erase this. We're going to do a couple problems together. I'm going to leave you with a couple problems on your own to do, and then we'll pick up tomorrow. So the first one we're going to do together is 0.475, 475 thousandths, and we're going to compare that to 62 hundredths. All right? So notice that there's 3 digits over here, 2 digits over here, and automatically we think 3 is bigger than 2. Yeah, that's true. But we need to make them an equal number of digits. So the first thing that I want you to do is take this 62, and I want you to add some zeros to the end. I'm going to change the color because I want to compare the same number of digits. So here I have 3 digits, here I have 2 digits. I want to compare 3 digits to 3 digits, all right? So I'm just going to tack this 0 onto the end. Remember last time I erased the zeros because when they come at the end, they don't change the value. So this 0 is not changing the value. It's just kind of visually making things a little bit easier for me to compare. So now when I look at this, I have 475 thousandths, 620 thousandths. 620 thousandths is the same as 62 hundredths, okay? The easy part here is, watch, I can pretend that these decimals are not here. Now I have 475 and 620. Very easy to compare. We all should know which one's bigger here. 400 is less than 600s, but these decimals are really there, but it doesn't change anything, okay? That's the easy part, the beauty of it. Let's do another one. Let's do 4/10, 0.4, 4/10, and we're going to compare it to 38 hundredths. Again, I want to compare the equal number of digits. So here I have 2 digits, so I'm just going to tack on another 0 to this side, so I'm also comparing 2 digits. Look at this. Again, let's pretend that these decimals aren't here. Don't let those confuse you. Here I have 40, here I have 38. Very simple to compare. 40 is bigger than 38. But remember, these were decimals, so that tells me that 4/10 is greater than 38 hundredths. So don't get confused when you think about numbers. Oh, 4 is greater than or smaller than 38. This is really 40. This is 38 pieces of something. We're going to do one more together, and then you guys are going to do the rest on your own. Let's do, I don't want to do 38 again. Let's do 21 hundredths, 0.21, 21 hundredths, and let's compare that to 21 thousandths. I used 21 and 21 on purpose so that we can see that the place value really means something here. So if we look at this right off the bat, again, I'm comparing 2 digits to 3, so I want to do 3 and 3. So I'm going to put that 0 on the end to help me visually see the numbers similarly. And then I'm going to pretend that this guy's not here. So now what do I have? 210. What do I have over here? 21. All right, and we know that 210 is going to be greater than 21. So that tells me that 21 hundredths is greater than 21 thousandths. Okay, so remember that hundredths is greater than thousandths. In this case, I had 21 hundredths and 21 thousandths. So hundredths are greater than thousandths. All right, so again, remember you can stop the video anytime, you can rewind, you can rewatch. I'm going to leave you with 3 to compare on your own. It's not a lot, pretty simple, but what I want to see tomorrow when you come in is that you wrote the comparison statement. I also want to see that you added zeros to the end of the shorter comparison statement. If you don't have different colors at home, you can use the same color, maybe just underline the 0 so that I know that it was an extra 0 that you added. Or you can do what I did here on the board and write it in a different color so that we can see that you're adding that extra 0. So visually, you're comparing the same number of digits. All right, so your 3 questions that you're going to do on your own are going to be, number 1, put the number 1 all the way over here. Number 1 is 405 thousandths compared to 62 hundredths. Number 2, 7/10 compared to 7 hundredths. And number 3, we're going to do 45 hundredths compared to 4/10. Okay? So again, tomorrow I'm going to be looking for the questions we did in the beginning with all those zeros and sixes. I should see this list, tenths, hundredths, thousandths, showing that tenths are bigger than hundredths, hundredths are bigger than thousandths. The couple that we did on our own, and these 3 that you're going to do on your own adding the zeros to make the equal digits. Again, use two different colors if you have them. If not, just add that zero, maybe just underline it with your pencil so that I know that you added the zero and you can visually compare them. All right, guys, I look forward to seeing this work tomorrow. Good job. Have a great night. Bye.